Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Got more of your questions from twitter.com/AaronRift. Let's get started today with the first one, which comes from Jack Thompson. With AJ Styles being pushed to the #1 contendership, should we expect to see him stay there once more injured stars come back? I think AJ Styles will continue to be in the WWE title hunt even when guys like John Cena and Randy Orton return. I think AJ Styles will always be one of the top guys in WWE. I think he will continue to get title shots. Maybe one day he will become WWE champion. Whether that happens in the near future or not, that remains to be seen. But I do not expect Payback to be his only shot at the WWE title. If he doesn't win the title, I think he will get other opportunities in the future. Alright, this one comes from Joseph Allen. What do you think AJ Styles' ceiling is in WWE? Will he get lost in the shuffle after losing to Roman? Most non-homegrown talent do. I do not see AJ getting lost in the shuffle. I think he will always be one of the top guys in WWE, but not the guy. At least the top guy like Roman Reigns that the company is building themselves around. He's not going to be the guy that is the flagship of the company, who goes around doing the media appearances and appears on late night shows with the title belt. I do not see AJ Styles being that guy. However, I think he will be one of the top stars in the company. He will be similar to a Daniel Bryan, similar to a Chris Benoit a decade ago. He will be a guy that WWE can rely on to have great matches, even similar to a Bret Hart of the 90s, a guy that will go out there and have show-stealing matches and will be one of the most popular guys in the company, but I do not see him being at a John Cena level. But anything's possible. I just do not predict that happening with AJ Styles, but as I've said before, the cream rises to the top, and I think AJ Styles will always be towards the top of the ladder in WWE. Alright, this one comes from anyone but Roman at NotAaronRift. Who do you think will be the next first-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion? That is an interesting question and a hard one to answer. I think the safest prediction would be AJ Styles because he has the immediate title shot at Payback, and he very well could get a rematch if he's unsuccessful at Payback. Maybe at Extreme Rules he gets another title shot. So the odds are AJ Styles is the most likely person to win the WWE title who hasn't won it yet. Besides AJ, I think my next top pick would be Kevin Owens, because when you look at top heels in WWE that haven't been WWE champion, Owens is certainly at the top of the list, and I think right now he's an early pick to win Money in the Bank, and if that's the case, I think there's a good chance of Kevin Owens becoming WWE champion if he wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. So I would go with either AJ or Kevin Owens at this point in the immediate future. Alright, this one comes from Mendez. Do you see Seth Rollins being fed to the almighty Roman Reigns in order to try to put him over? If anything, I actually think Seth Rollins will be the guy to eventually dethrone Roman Reigns and win the WWE title, and that is what I see the long-term feud being. I see Seth Rollins coming back and likely feuding with Roman Reigns, and even though I feel it's better for WWE to bring back Seth Rollins as a babyface, I could very well see the Authority versus Roman Reigns angle continuing during the summer, and Seth Rollins coming back and trying to regain his title that Roman Reigns stole. You know, they'll do that whole storyline, and then we'll have the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins feud with Seth Rollins on the side of the Authority. And I really hate to say that. I really hope that's not the storyline, because it just sounds so tedious and the same old crap we've been seeing for several years now. But unfortunately, that is my prediction, what I think is most likely to happen. I hope something else happens. I'm just saying that on the record here. But if I had to make a prediction, I think Seth Rollins is the most likely guy to beat Roman Reigns for the WWE title at some point. Alright, this one comes from Yusuf Khan. Longtime viewer and first time asker. What are Roman Reigns' strengths? I don't see many. I think he sucks. Thanks. He has the wettest hair. He has a sweet goatee. But in all seriousness, Roman Reigns, I think he has the right look for WWE. Now, that is a strength. Does that equal a talent? Not necessarily. As far as talent goes, I think he is good at playing the role of a badass, a guy who comes out there and beats people up. He can do that role well. He was good as the enforcer in The Shield. But as far as trying to be the new John Cena and being the flagship of the company, he's not the most charismatic guy. He's not the best talker. And I think that is what has caused a lot of fan resentment, and just the fact that he was more or less the guy that was chosen to be the top guy rather than the guy that organically got to the top. And I would also say that Roman Reigns has been durable. I mean, he's been on the main roster now for almost 4 years, and he's only had one major injury. And as far as WWE is concerned, that is an asset to have a guy who is durable and can go for several years on the full-time schedule without getting hurt too often. So that's another strength, if you want to call it a strength. Alright, this one comes from Jeremiah Dorset. Hey Aaron, do you see Cena and Rollins possibly going after the IC title in the near future? I do not see John Cena going for the IC title, only because it would just be a complete repeat of the US title storyline. What, is John Cena going to come out and do IC title open challenges? I just don't see how that would be anything unique or different from what was done in the past. Rollins going for the IC title, maybe, but I'm expecting him to be in the main event picture when he comes back, feuding with the top guys, and if not going for the WWE title, having a high-profile grudge feud. I would be surprised if Rollins was put in the IC title feuds or storylines. I just see him being at a level above that at this point. But who knows? Maybe WWE will decide to put an emphasis on the IC title again and want Rollins to help elevate that title. Who knows? Alright, this one comes from Jishnu. Hey Aaron, if WWE is paying Brock Lesnar $6 million, then he should be the world champion instead of Roman Reigns. Do you see him becoming champion again? Possibly. I could see maybe one day Brock Lesnar having another run as WWE champion, but I think you can have him not be champion and still get use out of him. The key is to put Brock in high-profile matches. I think his last couple of opponents have been disappointing. I think the match with Dean Ambrose for a lot of people was a letdown, and Dean Ambrose really wasn't built up strong enough to be a credible opponent for Brock Lesnar. I mean, you really want to put somebody in there against Lesnar who you think has a legitimate chance of beating Lesnar in the storyline. There aren't that many guys left, but I do feel there are some people like Randy Orton and maybe even Samoa Joe that you could put in there against Brock Lesnar. So it's all a matter of building the right opponents and having the big stars go up against Brock Lesnar to justify what you're paying the guy. Alright, this one comes from @DMinor88. With only one tag title, do you feel that WWE is pouring out too many tag teams at once? Vaudevillains, Enzo Cass, Doc and Carl, etc. If anything, I'm glad that there are a lot of tag teams in WWE right now and that the company is putting an emphasis on tag teams again. I mean, back in 1987 and 1988, WWE had tag team Survivor Series matches where you had something like 10 teams in one match, 5 teams against 5 teams. And back then, the tag teams had credibility. So I am happy that there are a lot of tag teams now. And at the end of the day, you're going to have your tag teams that are at the top, and then you're going to have your tag teams that are elevating other talent. Just like with the singles competitors, you're going to have your top tier guys, your mid-carders, and your undercard guys. And, in my opinion, the more tag teams, the better. I just like the fact that the tag division is having more of an emphasis put on it. I mean, there have been far worse periods where there have maybe only been two or three tag teams on the entire roster, and that really didn't do much for the tag division. Alright, this one comes from Dan. If Batista returns, would it be a repeat of 2014 again? Surely smart wrestling fans see money in the Beast versus the Animal program. Batista's another guy, going back to that Brock Lesnar question. I think if you bring back Batista and you do something meaningful with him, then he can have some value. I think Batista versus Brock Lesnar would be a very intriguing match for a major pay-per-view. Other than that, there's not really much of a reason to bring back Batista, and WWE should definitely not bring back Batista unless there's a good reason to do so. And I could also see Batista coming back as a heel and getting a good reaction. You know, fans booing Batista for the right reasons. Batista coming back as a heel, I think, would be good for business. Batista always worked better as a heel. He enjoys playing a heel more, and that is where he truly shines. So have him come back as a heel against face Brock Lesnar. To me, that's easy money. Alright, this one comes from Young Ness. If Caval or Low Key didn't leave WWE, where would you see him in today's roster, being that indie stars are on the rise now? Caval is one of those really head-scratching decisions by WWE why they let him go, or maybe he quit. I don't remember exactly what the circumstances were. But regardless of the case, he should have been a bigger deal in WWE than he was. I mean, he definitely had the talent, and the fans were reacting to him on NXT. I really don't know what went wrong with him. I mean, he definitely should have been a major player in WWE. And looking at it now with NXT and the main roster, I think he would have done really well if he was part of WWE right now. And I guess you could say never say never. Maybe one day he'll be back, but who knows? I mean, he had his shot, and for whatever reason, it didn't work out. Alright, this one comes from Brawlick. Hey Aaron, with network specials such as the Global Cruiserweight Tournament upcoming, could you see WWE doing a women's title tournament or something to get misused women such as Emma and Paige some spotlight? Yes, but I think it would be a mistake to do that right now since you've just done a tag team tournament. I think I would hold off a little bit and wait 6 months or so before doing another tournament to declare a #1 contendership. But yeah, that might be a good idea at some point to get more women TV time, but I would hope that there are other creative ways to get the women on TV and give them some meaningful roles rather than just throw together a tournament in order to get a bunch of people TV time. Alright, this one comes from Aaron Wyatt. What's up with WWE putting their own ads in the middle of their own programming on their own network? WWE is just trying to make a little bit of extra money. That's all it is. And I find it annoying too. I find it annoying paying $9.99 a month and then going on and having to sit through ads. I would, quite frankly, rather pay $10.99 and not have the ads. But the whole $9.99 thing is WWE's gimmick, and I guess they're trying to avoid raising the price as long as possible. But if it was my decision, I would pay $10.99 a month and not have the damn ads. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding Payback and other news in the world of wrestling. You can follow me at twitter.com/AaronRift as well as facebook.com/AaronRift. And on that note, I will see you guys next time for more.